Hey fam,
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
so first and foremost, um, we're gonna say that if we have to put up with that look of showing all 32 teeth and that fake laugh, like it's like I don't see how we can keep up. Look, like look at how fake this is. Look at that. It's like somebody's like that is not a genuine laugh. Look at her eyes, her expression. This is someone that I am glad that she did not win. All right. I previewed watching this video a little bit, and her speech as a little bit of I would say I'm not even gonna say it. But guys, first and foremost, thank you guys for joining the channel. Um, for all the people that went out and voted for democracy, voted for a secure border, voted for anti-agenda of the left, who went out and voted for, better paying jobs, lowering cost of living in terms of food, in terms of gas prices, in terms of all the things that matter to the American people. Thank you guys for voting. And even if you voted for Kamala, obviously, I'm a Republican. Even if you voted for Kamala, thank you for voting, because we do live in a democracy. And, the fact that we have good elections, that we can go back and forth and express our differences and still come out and she can come on stage and give her speech, or so-called concession speech, because that was pretty terrible. It's a good thing. So we're always going to spread a positive vibes, a positive attitude. That's what we're here for. And it doesn't matter if you voted for Trump or not. Whatever President Trump does for this economy or this country, I hope by God that we all benefit from it. I don't care who was in power. I vote on the policies, and I vote not because of the person. Back in the days, I voted for Obama when he was when he got to the presidency. And to be honest with you, I voted based on the fact that I was black, he was black, and I said, okay, let's see what this black man can do since I'm a black man. And then we went to 2 terms, 8 years of Barack Obama. And I'm sorry, guys. So I failed to see any really good thing that he did for black folks. And I hate to say that kind of stuff because I really hate that. But it's what it is. The second time Barack Obama ran, I did not vote for him because I didn't feel like he did anything. I remember the times during the riots when the riots were going on. He never came out and actually said anything. He never came out and actually said anything. He was just so quiet. But yet said he was speaking up, about, everything transgender, everything gay. And I have nothing against anyone that's gay or transgender. But, a lot of those things should take, back seat to more pressing issues. The border, the economy, the cost of living, just high prices on high interest rates on credit cards. Those are the things I vote for. So I didn't think that Kamala Harris gave us enough information to actually think that she was going to be a legitimate or a president that was going to fight for those rights. And I know a lot of people were saying in the past that she's been a part of the Democratic machine for 4 years. And I totally don't blame her, because as a vice president, you really don't have a lot of responsibility. You don't have as much responsibility as much responsibility as people might think you have. Now, for the responsibility that you do have, now you're gonna have to do an excellent job of it, because that's just one thing that you have to worry about. And I just felt as though if the border was your project, you should have did a better job. I felt like she did no job whatsoever. You know what I mean? During the whole time they were saying the border was, closed. She didn't go out there. The one time she did go to the border was during, her run for the presidency. And, a lot of people didn't know it though, but she was there for less than 15 minutes. She was there. They took a couple pictures. She literally was there for 15 minutes, and then she was back in her entourage, and she was gone again. For me, that solidified that she didn't care about the border. And if she got to be president, she was gonna let that border stay open. She didn't care. She didn't make any concession and say, you know what, the border, I made a mistake. I thought that an open border would be better for, her joy message, whatever her joy message was. If she had said that, it would have been better for the economy and lied to us or something like that, I would have probably like, okay, she's making a stance. But she made no stance, even when they asked her, hey, so, what difference would you do? I mean, come on. If you're running for listen, I'm not even a presidential candidate. And if they ask me certain questions, I'm going to have way better answers than her. If they ask me, I'm going to make sure I get a think tank together. For some of you guys who don't know what a think tank is people who actually, they get together, they sit in a room for an extended period of time, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, month, however long it takes. And they have an issue on the board and they try to come up with different ideas or the best idea how to solve that thing. And I felt like as somebody who's a president, she put almost $1 billion into her campaign. And you want to tell me all the points that you had to put as your main points for running as the president of the United States were just abortion, was transgenders, wokeness, being happy, everybody kumbaya. All that stuff doesn't translate into a strong economy. It sounds good when somebody's saying it, sounds motivational with that music in the background, but at the same time, it's foolishness. That doesn't stop other nations from creeping up in our borders and strengthening their ties with other enemies. That doesn't make us better. Telling people, oh, we should all come together, and no, you need a strong leader. If you have a weak leader and everybody's happy, but your borders are non-existent or not strong, the enemy's gonna come in and seep in and just destroy our company or our country from within and then attack us from outside. And I don't want to sound like I'm spreading any propaganda, but honestly, she didn't give, that sense of a Margaret Thatcher. For a lot of people who don't know who Margaret Thatcher is, she's called, the strong woman, Iron Margaret Thatcher from Britain. She was a very strong prime minister in Britain. And, she was known for, I'm sorry guys, she was known for, being a strong woman. She led her party. She made great decisions for England. She was a strong leader, you know what I mean? But she didn't give off that vibes. And the thing is, and I don't want to say certain things. I don't want to sound racist or sexist because I'm not. But a lot of people won't say it. I felt like they gave Barack Obama the key to the kingdom, and I felt like, yes, he did an okay job, but he fumbled it. You know what I mean? He really did. And I felt like a lot of people thought that, hey, listen, man, we gave the brother a shot, and he didn't really do much. So, yes, a lot of people want to vote for a female, but I think that a lot of people are saying, nah, man, we don't think that a female president is ready to run the country. And that's not necessarily my opinion. I've watched all the vlogs. I hear people talk. The funny thing is when they do interviews with people on the street, those people are going to say exactly what's on their mind. But when they do interviews with people on CNN, Fox, NBC, they're not going to say stuff like that because that's mainstream media. They say certain things, people can lose their job. But you interview people in the streets, people don't care. The people who are actually under oppression, those people are they're gonna say what's on their mind. They don't feel like she's a strong woman, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This look she has on her face, this cackling look, this big smile, like everything is okay. It didn't go over with a lot of voters. A lot of people didn't like it. Just coming on and laughing. Like not every situation is a laughing matter. Some situation is serious, and her coming all the time, constantly laughing and giggling, and then she's she's a strong politician one day. She's chasing off Christians in one convention, and then coming the next convention, glory cometh in the morning, being fake as hell. It doesn't come off well with people. For me, you got to be who you are all the time. Either people like you or they don't like you. Either you're outspoken or you're soft spoken, or you're not spoken at all. Are you a good person or you're not? Are you a bad person, or you're a lukewarm person? Are you for God or you're not for God? You're for justice or you're not for justice. You know what I mean? You're for good or you're for evil. You know what I mean? You can't just be. I know people can't have dual personality, but she's always something for everybody. You know what I mean? To the point where she's nothing for anybody, if that makes any sense. Like, you can't just be, chasing off Christians one day and the next day you're in a black church holding up your arm, you practice this, this Christian speech in your bathroom. Like, you definitely cannot do that. You get what I'm saying? You have to come and be be what the people. You have to be strong. Sometimes being strong mean that not everybody's gonna like you. Not everyone is gonna like you. Sometimes you're gonna come in, and if you're the owner of a business, some days you're gonna come in. Some employees is not gonna agree with a lot of things you do, but you know in your mind this is what's best for the business. You've done your research. You know what the market looks like, and you're gonna make that decision no matter who likes you today, who don't like you today. Because I've been in general manager positions where I know certain things are hard, but I have to do it. And it's my job. I have to do it. I'm going to do it. Whether somebody like me today, I really don't care. I'm going to do the job. And I don't feel like she has that. You know what I mean? She just doesn't come off as, well, the Democratic Party just don't come off as if they really make rules for the rest of the country. It does feel like somebody's a puppet. You know what I mean? And it felt like Joe Biden was a puppet. And you saw the puppeteers. Because once they tried to get him out, you saw all these big names, Nancy Pelosi, all these other guys, they came up, Joe, you gotta go, Joe, you gotta go. So those, if you really want to know who ran the country, it was those people. Because if I'm a president, I don't care what Nancy tells me. If I don't want to run, you can't make me not run. You get what I'm saying? So that little incident showed up the Democratic Party who was really in charge. The Nancy Pelosi's, the other bigwigs there in the Democratic Party, and not the president. Because obviously we know that Joe Biden did not want to give up his seat as the president. You know what I mean? To this woman. We saw the conversation that he had with Barack Obama at that gentleman's funeral. And to me, that was very disrespectful. They went to go to a funeral to pay their respects, and they're talking politics. Be quiet. You never see any events where like a veteran's funeral or something to pay respects to fallen police officers or some kind of workers, and you see Donald Trump in the back giggling and sniggling and laughing. He's always has a serious face on. He's showing respect wherever he goes, but yet still you have this video of Barack Obama covering up his mouth, and you have Joe Biden whispering, oh, she's not that good of a candidate, I'm way better than her. That just shows you how cutthroat they are. And once I see those little things, that just makes me think, nah, this is not a party for me. You know what I mean? If the president feel like the rug was cut from under him, and they slit his throat while he was there, what are they going to do to her? Maybe they wanted her to get in, and next thing you know, they say, hey, she's unfit for office, and then they put who they wanted to be president. We never know what these people do. We never know what they're capable of. Just like how they're capable of putting 150 charges on Donald Trump, which was asinine. Even the companies that they were saying he owed money, they're like, yo, he paid all his debt. We don't want anything from him. Yet still, they still put him on trial. That judge from New York, that laughing hyena, that guy was just sitting up in the stands laughing and giggling. That's a terrible thing. And so when we watch this, I'm going to get to the speech, but when we watch this, you can see the disingenuousness in her speech. She's not happy. And not only that, if you're talking about how Donald Trump was, this type of guy, and he's an insurrectionist and, all this stuff, you should have turned up last night and conceded and given a speech to all those people that went to your alma mater waiting for you to give that speech. And she didn't do that. That goes to show you the type of person she was. That just showed up her personality. That shows you she's not who she says she was. If I was in that position, no matter how bad I felt, and I knew I lost by so many points in the Electoral College, what I'm going to do is definitely come and say, guys, we fought a good race. Thank you guys for coming out and supporting me. I really wanted to be the first female, black, Indian, Chinese, Christian, Satanist, Democratic president ever, and give her a speech and then, and then leave gracefully. All that campaign contribution she got, she's a millionaire. She spent, how do you think all these celebrities came? Yes, I'm pretty sure she has something on all of them, but they also have to get paid. They have billions. Don't think that she's losing. She's leaving with millions in the bank. All that, you might say, oh, campaign contribution, is going to go this and they have to give it back. Nah, they ain't giving it back. There's still people behind her who's saying, you have work to do. She's still a congresswoman. You know what I'm saying? She's still a politician. There's still wheels to be greased. You know what I mean? So she's not finished. Everything, she's going to be one of those opposing voices to everything that he does. She's going to be one of those voices that vote against it. She had the tie-breaking vote, with that old climate change bill, which had nothing to do with climate change. You see what I'm saying? She cast a deciding vote. She says it all the time. So she's still in a position of power. So best believe, she's still going to make all the decisions that she wants. She's going to make for the leftists who felt like they were burnt. She's absolutely going to be that one. And the funny thing that you hear about the Democrats is, they'll say how Donald Trump is a racist and he's a Marxist, or he's a whatever they want to call him. If think about this, guys. If Donald Trump was a racist, right? Can you imagine if they had one piece of evidence that this man was a racist, right? You think they wouldn't have plastered it all over the internet all year long? Even if one time he had said to his caddy, you nigger, get that ball. Pardon my French. Can you imagine if he had said something like that? It would have been plastered all over the campaign to get that black vote, to get the Hispanic vote. And the thing is, they think that people are in their palms. They thought that the whole garbage, comment from that comedian, he's a freaking comedian. He has nothing to do with Donald Trump like that. He supports the party. He lends his talents to Donald Trump's campaign. He went out there to lighten the mood. He was probably a space filler. You know what I mean? And he made jokes. I've heard Dave Chappelle said, listen, anything a comedian says, they should be allowed to get away with it. If I see a white comedian say the word nigger, I don't feel no type of way. He's a comedian. He gets a pass on that one. I am so sorry. I don't care what nobody says. If I see a white comedian say something about Jamaicans or Mexicans or white folks or black folks or transgender, or Dave Chappelle go in on transgender all the time. All he has to say is, I'm a comedian. Leave me the hell alone. I can make jokes about everybody, which is true. You get what I'm saying? Comedian makes fun about people all the time. You know what I mean? They turned it into a big thing, like Trump was saying, Puerto Ricans are garbage. How would he say that? The man has made business in New York City for a millennia now, him and his family. Puerto Ricans support him. He has hundreds of Puerto Ricans working for him, hundreds of black folks, Hispanics, white. So how is this man a racist? If he's such a powerful man, he can say, listen, I don't want any black folks working here. But yet still, there are hundreds of black workers. If they had one inkling of him being, a Marxist or whatever they want to call him, they would have plastered it. So they had nothing on him. Yet still, you can probably find more stuff of Joe Biden leaning towards being a racist than Donald Trump can. But yet there is stuff out there. Okay, but they never plaster that over the airways. They do it for Donald Trump because they want you to get the vote for her. They always spew all this negative rhetoric about Donald Trump. Oh, he's this, he's this. Somehow, indirectly, they might have incited someone to attack the president, because they attempted his life twice because of all the hate speech that they have. You've never heard Donald Trump going out calling them, sexist or racist or this or that. You never heard him say that. You never think back all the time. Have you heard him say anything in terms of real negativity about the Democratic Party? He never does. He just speaks his points. He says they're fake newsing, which we all figured out is true. We all figured out it was true. It was a lot of fake news. The whole interference with Russia, fake news. And they did it. And I think that the American people is starting to feel like, yo, we're kind of sick of these stupid games, man. You know, you want to win our vote? Make some issues. Think about it, guys. When she first started running for the presidency, when she started running for the presidency, where did she first make her speeches at? Now I'm gonna give you guys a second. I'll wait. If you got it in the comments, send me. Text it in the comment. Let me see. Where was her first appearances were when she just heard that she was the Democratic nominee? When they gave it to her. Somebody text it to me. Where was her first appearances at? The RuPaul show. The all these clown shows. She didn't go on there to talk anything serious. If that was me, and I felt like, you know, I'm in a party that it's not so popular, and I want to distance myself from Joe Biden, I'm not going on RuPaul's show, because that's who she's aiming for. She's aiming for, no matter how much I ask her about what's her plan for the economy, she gets back to what? Transgenderism, wokeness, you know, inclusion, which is fine. All of that stuff is fine, but it's about time we stop putting those things at the forefront of what's important in the United States. And we start putting what's really important, putting back money in the pockets of the American people, securing our borders. Because I know for a fact, I promise you, there are cells in this country right now that are waiting. And I don't want to sound like someone, you know, who's just saying, you know, a bunch of crazy stuff. But we know that. You don't think there have been disgruntled people from other countries that we've done stuff to in the past to secure our border or to secure a country who slipped into the border? You don't think those same people have other people here waiting? I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of terrorist cells around the country right now, waiting for the right time. And I'm not trying to spew that kind of hate. I'm just saying the possibility is a lot greater than it is lesser. That's just common reasoning. If you're going to just let everybody run to the border, and I understand it might not just be all criminals. I do believe that there's a lot of people who actually are coming, who deserve to be here, or hardworking people from other countries. I do believe that. I'm also from Jamaica, but I came here the right way. I was vetted the right way. I went through the proper channels. I went to college. I filed for the paperwork. I got my citizen. I paid my taxes for years and years and years and years and years. And I can't go to my bank and ask them to pay my mortgage for 6 months. But other people can just walk here, get put up in hotels. I couldn't tell when last I slept in a hotel bed. You know what I mean? And I work hard every day, all day. You know what I mean? I'm pursuing a degree right now, and I couldn't even go stay in a hotel if I wanted to. Because before I do that, I'd rather buy myself some food. You know what I mean? And so the American people see stuff like that, and they're saying, listen, man, we can't tolerate this anymore. You can't just bring people over here. And some of the time I watch interviews on a lot of people, immigrants that are here, and they're demanding that they get more money, place to sleep. I'm like, who are you to demand? You know what I mean? You're in no position to demand anything, because whatever you demand comes out of my pocket. You know what I mean? And she emboldened them to make them feel as though they have the right to be here like that, which they probably do just as much as anybody else, but through the proper channels. And that's the problem I have. And so we couldn't have had someone like this. I am glad how the election went, you know, because I really wouldn't have wanted to see any kind of violence whatsoever, because we're never ever going to promote any kind of violence for any kind of reason whatsoever. We don't want any of that. We wanted a smooth transition. We want everything to be fair. If the Democrats had won, the Democrats had won. If the Republicans had won, Republicans had won. And you don't see, you know, a bunch of, you know, Republicans out there just throwing it in everybody's face. All the Republicans, to me, all the forums I'm reading, everybody's like, yo, we knew we were going to win. And everybody's calm. And we're just watching the reaction of all, you know, the Democratic supporters, people from The View, you know, Fox and all these different places. We see all those people talking all kind of hateful. Oh, well, Charlemagne the God, you know, he started out by saying, you know, this is what the American people want. Then he went to see, make it sound like it's dark times coming. Like, listen, all these celebrities that you see come out, and speak on your behalf who trying to get your vote. None of these people went to Publix in the last year. None of these people, go to Walmart and pick up 6 different items before they pick up one to check the price. How are you gonna tell me? You think Cardi B hasn't been poor for the last 10 years? What can Cardi B tell me? She was a stripper on a pole. Why did they think that any of these people could come and tell you? Eminem can't tell me what to do. Eminem can't tell me who to vote for. Eminem lives in Detroit. He's been a millionaire for years. What has Eminem done for Detroit? Ask the Detroit people, anybody in here from Detroit, please tell me what Eminem has done for the people of Detroit, where he can come and stand on a stage and tell black folks to give this woman her vote. What has Eminem done? The greatest rapper, so-called greatest rapper alive. What has he done for his own community? Why I'm going to listen to Eminem? What does Meg Thee Stallion can do? All she does is show her ass on TV. I would never leave my daughter with Meg Thee Stallion for a weekend. Are you crazy? She'd probably lose her virginity. You know what I'm saying? How can she teach me anything about anything? This girl, I doubt if she has passed her college education. What are you going to teach me? I have a master's in criminal justice and history. I'm probably more qualified than the people who advise this woman as the decision maker, because all the talking points that she used to try to get the presidency was trash. It was trash. She could have come up with 10,000 different ideas to woo the people. She could have told them that, hey, listen, we want to fix the economy. Even if you're resounding what Donald Trump says, you can be an opposition to Donald Trump and still want to fix the economy. She could have said that. She stole his tip idea, so why not steal other things? What did she think people are going to say? They're not going to like her any less. They're going to say, okay, she wants to do the same thing he wants to do. And then they would have backed her. But she was flip-flopping. All she was talking about is, woke movement and stay woke. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to hear any of that. People are concerned about gas prices, border security, more money in our pockets. Stop paying so much taxes every year and not getting anything back to show for it. Stop working your butt off just to pay bills every day. You work a job, you pay your bills. Sometimes you can't even go out and have fun. And I'm not talking people who can go out and have fun. I'm talking the majority, the 85, 95% of people in our country who really can't afford to really go out and enjoy themselves and not stress about, finding their next paycheck. And who's stressing about they can't find enough money and they're going to have to use the credit card that's almost maxed out already. And with that 35%, interest rate. That's what we wanted to hear. She could have built on those points. She could have spoke about stuff Donald Trump spoke of, but speak about it in a different tone to make it don't sound like exactly what he was saying. You have educated people in your camp. You have people who've written speeches for you. You can come up with a think tank and come up with better ideas, but she did none of that. And so we're going to watch her concession speech and listen how trashy it sounds. And after a while, I'm actually going to read some of the comments, and you're going to see how people really feel about this woman.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you all. Thank you.
You should have said thank you last night when they were waiting for you.
So let me say.
And she stormed off and left. She's a sore loser.
And I love you back.
You don't love them.
So let me say. My heart is full today. My heart is full today. Full of gratitude.
It's full of hate. Listen to the rest of it.
You have placed in me. Full of love for our country. And full of resolve.
Whatever you do not buy a BMW or Mercedes until you watch this. This $20 trick saves you thousands.
Pardon me, guys. My bad.
The outcome of this election is not what we wanted. Not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light.
Now, are you going to say this is not what we voted for? The American people voted and spoke. They voted and said Donald Trump is president. You don't have to come out here and say it's not what we wanted or it's not what we voted for. It's what the American people said. Majority of people said, because that's what it is. That's what a vote is. A vote is The majority of people who vote in one way says it's this way, and if the lesser people who voted, they don't get their way. That's a vote. So she's conceding, but she's not.
Of America's promise will always burn bright.
You guys are watching. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys.
As we never give up, and as long as we keep fighting. To my beloved Doug and our family, I love you so very much. To President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support. To Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your service to our...
I'm going to say another thing, guys. I don't think Tim Walz should have been her running mate. She screwed up. She shouldn't have used Tim Walz. People who know about Tim Walz should know that he was a terrible candidate. I don't want to like cut the speech. Go look up Tim Walz and the things that he's done in his own city. This is the thing. If I'm a presidential candidate and I'm going to run with someone, I want to know everything that they've done in their state. I want to know all the positive. I want to know that that man is loved by his state. You know what I mean? Like why would I just go pick somebody who people barely like? He's not a likable dude. You know what I mean? And then he went to go do the shotgun thing where he couldn't even handle the shotgun. After she faked saying she owned the gun and she goes shooting all the time. That they're so fake.
Our nation will continue. And to my extraordinary team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, to the poll workers and the local election officials, I thank you all. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran, and the way we ran it, over the 107 days of this campaign.
It was a terrible ran race. She should have focused more on the topics that she wanted to talk about and the agenda she wanted to push that people wanted to hear. But every time they gave her an opportunity to speak up about the things that she wanted, that she should be talking about, even on 60 Minutes, they were trying to push her and let her talk about something meaningful to the American people. And all she kept reverting to is how terrible Donald Trump was. Okay, we get that. Donald Trump is terrible. You don't have to say it. Everybody say it. Like it's like beating a dead horse. Now, what are you not terrible about? How are you going to be different? And I think that's where she lost the American people. They gave her more and more and more soft curve answer, softball answer, opportunities to say something different. Okay, Kamala, we get it. Now, what are you about? Okay, you don't want to be associated with Joe Biden. What are you associated with? What's the future you see for the United States? What's the future you see for my child? What's the future you see for my pockets, for the economy, for our strength abroad? Our national security. What do you see? We don't care about Donald Trump. Tell us what you see. And she could not come up with a solution, and she lost votes. Men who watch that are going to say, this lady can't lead me. Real men are going to come up and say, how is this woman going to lead me? What is she going to tell me? What is she going to teach me? When they've given her multiple times to come up with new ideas, come up with new things to say. And over and over, you have all that backing from Biden's administration. You've got his purse to run your own campaign, and you still can't come up with a good idea? Nah, you can't lead anybody then. Or you need to go lead your family back to Martha's Vineyard, stay there, and don't get involved with what President Trump is doing. Let him try to build a country. I'd rather take my chances with Trump because he's given me so much. Even if I don't believe that all these things he's been accomplished, at least he's trying to come up with ideas. At least you can see that he's brainstorming. At least he has something that he's going to go on. Don't tell me you have an agenda if when I ask you what your agenda is, you can't tell me. That makes no sense.
We have been intentional about building community and building coalitions.
Tell us how you're going to build the communities. We've been waiting to hear that. And don't say give out $5,000 for new businesses. If I've owned a business before, $5,000 in a new business is like giving your newborn child 50 cents. It means nothing. If you've ever done a business, you know that for instance, I owned a smoothie shop. Back then, when I owned that smoothie shop, yes, that could have helped me start it out. Paperwork has to be done. They have to come in and do inspections. You have to go fill out this form. You have to get a lawyer. You have to get a 5,000. You have to pay for gas. You have to buy a refrigerator. You have to buy deep freeze. You have to test out your products over and over. You have to have testing days to see if they actually test good. $5,000? Are you crazy? Give small business. How is that going to help our economy? Just print more money and make our economy worse. A lot of people don't understand that. What are you going to do? Tax future earnings? How is that a thing? You cannot tax future earnings. That's like saying, I'm in nursing school to become a nurse. You're projecting that I might make $200,000 when in essence, I probably would only make $85,000. And then you're going to tax me on that $200,000 that I didn't make. That's like what she wants to do. If your house is worth, $500,000, she wants to tax you yearly on that $500,000. How does that make sense? How do you think that makes sense? You're going to drive people out of their homes and give back the homes to banks and let them make more money. That makes no sense. The things she come up with, I am flabbergasted and enthralled to think that this woman really thought about these things, or whoever is advising her thought about these things and say, oh, you know what? Yeah, that's a great idea. You know what I mean? Let's tax the crap out of big businesses. You know what I mean? That makes no sense, people. If you tax, right, a business, think about it. The government employs people. They give out jobs. That is true. I live in Miami-Dade County, Miami. And we have the sewer system, animal services, police department. Yes, they give out jobs. But the majority of jobs are given out by the private sector, not by the government. So imagine, you tax the hell out of these businesses. You charge them 30% taxes. Now, where do you think they're going to take that money back from? The employee. And then when they can't take the money from the employee, they're going to drop the labor force. And they're going to hire cheaper labor. Who do you think they're going to hire? Those people that come into our country that will work cheaper. And who's going to lose jobs? Americans that have been here for years paying their taxes. So the things she speak about, people don't think about what she talks about. They just hear her say, yeah, I'm going to give every small business $5,000. I can go to her and say, yeah, I'm starting a small business. Spend that crap and never start that business. You know what I mean? There's so many scams going on with housings now. People are taking out LLCs. They're buying houses with it, waiting until the property goes up, taking out equity and leaving the house, the foreclosure. There's scams and scams and scams. People are scammers. You can't trust people like that. You know what I mean? So, and then one other time I heard her say something about, giving black people $1 million. Are you dumb? Giving black people $1 million? That makes no sense. You would ruin this economy. You'd ruin this country. Just some of the things she comes up with, guys, I'm like, yo, people really don't think about the things this woman says. It makes no sense. You know what I mean? The one thing she said that made sense was, taking away, server tips or that was a good idea, because these people don't make that much money. They depend on people's gratitude to pay their bills. You know what I mean? And she opposed that before. You know what I mean? So when she came and said she wanted to do the same thing Donald Trump wanted to by taking away, the service industry tax and stuff, then I'm just like, you stole that idea. You know what I mean? So a lot of things she say, all you have to do is think for yourself. When somebody comes up to me and give me an idea, especially fracking, Google is not that hard to do. Google, look what fracking is. How can fracking affect our country? Just look what it means. And she see that she was anti-fracking. Who doesn't want to make their country richer? Who wants to keep sending our hard-earned dollars to Dubai? Have you guys ever been to Dubai? You go to the airport, the airport is like a luxury bedroom. You come to New York airport, it's a shit sty. You know what I mean? We are making those countries richer and richer and richer. Why don't we, just like President Trump said, why don't we drill here? Let them pay us. You know what I mean? Why make them richer? Let them come to us. We have everything we need here. All right? If China wants to build their products and send it here for us to consume it, let them build that factory here and say they have to have, 70% of their workforce Americans. You know what I mean? And 30% Chinese. That's fine. But you're going to have to build it here, employ here, and leave money here. And then whatever you have left over, you take that to your country. This is not your country. A lot of businesses can't go to China and build business there and just and take that revenue out. Chinese government will say, don't work like that here. So why are other countries allowed to do that here? And why would you be opposed to it in the first place? Who doesn't want their house on their block to look the best? To look well painted, concrete driveway, lights, a flush garden. Who doesn't want that for their own house? Who doesn't want their house to have a 95-inch TV, a 7-foot by 7-foot couch, a big screen TV? Who doesn't want that for themselves? Which American you're going to tell me doesn't want that for themselves? So why wouldn't our president want that for his people? So how can you say that this woman is the best? She doesn't have any good ideas. That's why it wasn't hard for me to not vote for her. She didn't give me any reason to say, this is what you bring to the table. This is what I'm willing to vote for her and put my future in. I didn't see her plugging the border. She could have started putting up some drastic measures when the governor of Texas was saying, yo, we need to lock up. She could have jumped on the bandwagon and say, you know what? You're right. We need to lock up this border. I am going to lock down the border. She didn't do any of that. She didn't speak out about anything. She was busy on RuPaul. She was busy RuPaul promoting, whatever her agenda is. Nobody wants to hear that stuff. We're tired of hearing that foolishness from when Barack Obama was here to the last 4 years. We want concrete issues. We want people getting forgiveness for student loans that they promised that they didn't do for a lot of Americans who needed that. You know what I mean? The little bit of money that we are making in such a bad economy, a lot of people still have to use that money and still pay for student loans. I'm one of them. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to better myself so I can better this country. You know what I mean? So what are you doing? I can't vote for you. Okay, if you want to run, different from President Biden, okay, say, Biden, listen, if you help me win this election, I'm gonna have a spot for you and your family in the next administration. Give me this so I can give the people. I don't know what it is he could have given to her. Let me do it. You know what? Let me take off student loan in my name. Kamala Harris, forgave, $1 billion in student loan for schools for people across the country. Since you've been giving away billions to Ukraine and other countries, let's give $1 billion away in student loan forgiveness to our people. And let me put that on my ballot and say, look what I did on the last few months before I ran for the presidency. She couldn't even do that. Let me plug the border real quick. All right, let me talk to some people. Let me do some negotiations and see if I can drop the price of groceries in the next 3 months, so people see that, hey, I can do something and make it better. She didn't do that, so that's how I would have advised her. You know what I mean? I've studied politics, like I said. I have a master's in criminal justice and political science. So, and I don't even get paid to give her those advice. And people were online saying, bro, you need to stop running on these stupid issues. Stop going on RuPaul and these stupid talk shows that nobody watches, that no real people watch. Real people, when they come home from a hard day's work, we don't watch RuPaul. We don't watch, this girl that she went on her stupid podcast. I'm more likely to watch Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan talk about a lot of serious issues. Yes, he messes around sometimes. He talks about UFC, but Joe Rogan talks about serious issues all the time. You know what I mean? Go on some serious podcasts, answer some serious questions. Give the American people some serious answers that we really want to hear. Tell us how we can lower the price of groceries, lower the price of gas. You know what I mean? Let our kids eat better, eat healthier, so we can afford healthy foods. Make things more healthy for your country. Stop feeding into other countries while yours is here. Stop talking about a one country healthcare system. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Do you think rich people want to go sit? If I'm a wealthy person, you think I just want to go sit in line and wait in a long line of 1 million people when I can just go to my private doctor? Why are you taking that away from me? That sounds more Marxist and terrible than anything Donald Trump want to do. These are the things a lot of people don't understand when they hear her talk. It just sounds, it goes in line with her joy speech. Oh, joy coming in the morning. Kumbaya. Everybody's good. Everybody's that. I'm going to keep playing.
Bringing people together.
But listen to her speech.
Every walk of life and background. United
USA.
by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory.
Because they forced her to.
Told him
they told her how terrible it was that she didn't stay. That's the only reason why she spoke with him.
And
she's a hater.
We will engage in a peaceful transfer of power.
That's the one good thing she said in the speech.
A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results.
Cheap
That
shot.
principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy
Cheap
or
shot.
tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it.
So she took that time out to drop a cheap shot. That's in reference to 3 years ago when, they said Trump didn't concede because he knew he was robbed. Anybody feel jaded, they're going to say something. And we all knew he was robbed. Come on. So now she's taking the time out to take a cheap shot.
In our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States.
Now, she should have thought about that when her and Biden was weaponizing the DOJ, you know what I mean? And everybody to go after. You notice they never came out with any kind of speech. She always talked about getting along and doing this and doing that. But when President Trump, the 2 attempts on his life was made, they never came out and really said, you know what? If I hear that my friend, whether like if I'm on a football team and I hear that, the other coach across the team had a heart attack, guess what? I'm going to call, hey, is he okay? Like, what can I do to help? You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to try to find out. They did nothing. I think low key, they were like, they were like, man, he should, they missed him. You know what I mean? So, all this joy talk, she's not sincere, and people saw through it. She thought she was getting headway with everybody, but people saw through it, and that's why she lost. The constant changing her tone, the constant talking down, her and Barack Obama talking down to Barack Obama lives in Martha's Vineyard. You should have stayed up there, bro. I don't know why he thought he was gonna come down here and win her some votes. He actually helped her lose.
And loyalty to our conscience and to our God.
Don't bring God in it.
My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
You don't care.
The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation.
Now I'm going to say this. This is the type of speeches, I don't know if you guys watch a lot of her speeches. A lot of her speeches, she tries to come off as this eloquent a speaker who can inspire. She doesn't have that talent. She does not have that talent. Notice a lot of her speeches. And so we want to make this country better for all peoples of all land to live together and strive for the best. She doesn't have that talent. She tries a lot. You can tell she sits in her bathroom every night and try to speak, influential to try to, she doesn't have that gift. Some people have the gift of gab and others don't. Barack Obama has that gift. Not talented, but talented in the gift of gab. Barack Obama, he has that gift. There's people who can speak, let other people be inspired by it, and then force them to get that vote. A lot of narcissists are, you know what I mean? A lot of dictators are. A lot of dictators are great spokesperson and are great speakers, and they can motivate. A lot of them came up where they were motivating people to uplift themselves. Then they turn into tyrants. So she does not have that skill. So she's trying that, and to say all people, yes, that is good for all people to have the American dream. And she might signal like, okay, all people are welcome here. But listen, that is also true, but at a certain extent. Not everybody can just come in all at the same time, floodgate. You have to have the infrastructure to accommodate all these people. So these little speeches that she made, people watching it, they might think that, oh, it's true. I have all right to go to the United States and try the American dream. That is true. But it's not true at the same time, because there's a lot of Americans here who can't even get that American dream. So don't encourage people to come here, open up the border, like when they come here and we have so much space and so much money to give everybody a house and change their lives. It doesn't work like that. So those are the speeches she gives. And people, after a while, your subconscious start to reason if you're a smart person. And say, listen, this woman, she can't come through and have the promises that she makes.
Why LA women aren't going to the gym?
We don't care about LA women.
No, that's my mom.
No way. Mind if I ask how old you are?
They're idiots.
The ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up.
You're going to give it up. We're not going to hear from you again after this. We don't want to hear from you.
I will never give up the fight for a future where Americans can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own body.
And that's where she lost the election. Right there. Right there. The freedom of American women, that is fine and dandy. What a lot of Americans don't know, if you guys went out to vote, what was the first thing you saw? You saw a list of presidential candidates. Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, independent, whoever. You chose who you wanted to vote for. You go down the line, Amendment 3, Amendment 4, you vote on it. Marijuana, no marijuana. Chief Justice this person, Chief Justice that person. School district this person, school district that person. Guys, you can still vote on the rights for women to choose. You had that option at the polls. You didn't need her to tell you that. But she made it sound as if the right was taken away from you. Yes, the president has some pull on that. But you also have the right when you vote. But so many people don't vote. They've never voted. So they don't know that when you go to the polls, you can make that decision right then and there through your vote. But she's here, and that's how she ran. She ran about women's rights. Okay, if I'm running a campaign, women's rights should be one thing. But women's rights shouldn't be that high of a priority where that's what my go-to point is every time I'm asked a question. The woman's right thing is only a small portion of what's on the ballot for the presidency. It is not. The economy is bigger than that. National security is bigger than that. Tax reforms is bigger than that. For Second Amendment is bigger than that. First Amendment is bigger than that. The woman's right to choose is not, it's not down there, but it's not up there either. Everything I just said takes precedence over that. So why would you use that as one of the main points? She couldn't let it go. She couldn't let go, you know, the gay and the gay LGBT movement, the woke movement, the women's rights. She couldn't let that go and speak on things that we really wanted her to speak about. And that is why she lost many votes. Yes, you can appeal to a woman, you know what I mean? But women are just one section of the vote. Women that are getting pregnant and having to deal with abortion rights is a small section of the vote. That can't be your go-to all the time. Flip the script when it's not working and try something else. It's insanity.
And not have their government telling them what to do.
It's not that important.
We will never give up the fight to protect our schools and our streets from gun violence.
Gun violence. Guys, the gun violence that people see on TV is very minuscule. I do not by any means at all support any form of gun violence. I am a 2A advocate. All right? Free anything that's on the Constitution, I support it. She says she supports the Constitution. You can't support the Constitution and support freedom of speech and then say in the next amendment, the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, I don't support that and I want to take all their guns away. That's not supporting the Constitution. What you should say is we should make it more difficult for people who aren't ready to have guns not to have guns. Because the bad guys, I know it's cliche, but the bad guys don't care. They're going to find those weapons and they're going to commit a lot of crimes. Majority of people in the United States, 99% of people, of gun owners are responsible. The other, I'd say 95. The other ones that are the gang members, the terrorists and all those people, they don't respect the law. But for those who do, it's a far greater majority. So stop talking about gun violence. The amount of gun violence you see on TV, guys, is minuscule to the amount of people that crash in cars, that get murdered every day by other means. It is very small, but that is their agenda, so that's why they keep prepping it. It's not that big, and I'm not downplaying gun violence. I would never do such a thing. I'm going in the medical field, and you never want to see anyone die from any means whatsoever besides natural death. But this is the agenda that they push, and she can't. The gun community, we've been fighting for years. You're never going to pass a ban where you take away guns from Americans. It's never going to happen. I am sorry to say, but it is a fact.
And America, we will never give up the fight for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the sacred idea that every one of us, no matter who we are or where we start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be respected and upheld.
That's force.
Hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work can be joyful work. And the fight for our...
The fact that she says hard work can be joyful work, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Ain't nobody doing no hard work and joyful. When I'm at work and the work is hard, I want to get the hell out of there. I don't want to hear nothing about joy. When I'm doing hard work, when my day is... I drove tractor trailers and delivered food before. And when the work is hard, I don't want nobody telling me about how it's good work. I want to be done. From the second I started, I want to be done. It's never joy work. So that goes to show you she's so detached from reality. They don't, the things that they sit up on the podium and talk about, and this includes majority of politicians, they don't know what they're talking about. Once in their life, they might have been poor, they might have worked hard, but these people don't know what going to the grocery store even means. Have you ever seen Bernie Sanders in the grocery store? Huh? Have you ever seen J-Lo at Publix or at Walmart? Have you ever seen Cardi B at Walmart? Have you ever seen Eminem at Walmart? Huh? You ever seen any of these dumb people at Walmart? Hell no. They don't know what we go through.
Country is always worth it. It is always worth it. To the young people who are watching, It is. I love you.
That laugh, bro. That laugh. She gotta go. That fake smile,
To the
man.
young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed. But
Why would you say that? You're in a concession speech. Bow out gracefully and go home.
please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign,
It's gonna
I
be
would
great.
often say,
We're gonna be
when
fine.
we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before. You have the capacity to do extraordinary good in the world.
I see Miss S. Lips says,
What is
Kamala,
this weird new
go
tool,
home, you're
and
fired.
why
She
is it becoming
absolutely
the most
is,
popular
man.
Father's Day gift of 2024. My wife got me one.
Yeah, she
And so to every
just want to read some of the comments, man. Miss S. Lips, yes, she should. I mean, she's gone home already. You know what I mean? Exactly. A lot of gun violence is in Democrat, and that's the thing. You know, they want to push the Democratic thing, and then it's happening in Democratic cities. You know what I mean? Fix your city. Show me what you can do with whatever law you're proposing, and then you bring it to the forefront. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of them don't realize. You know what I mean? Just like you say, Sean. She wants to unite America, but all she does is incite 8. This is what she's done. You know, it's crazy to me.
one who is watching,
Sorry guys, I can't really see all the comments,
this is
man.
not a time to throw up our hands.
I'm actually watching
This
it
is
too.
a
I didn't
time
get to
roll
watch
up
it
our sleeves.
earlier. Guys,
This is
thanks
a
for
time
tuning in.
to organize,
Thank you for tuning in.
to
Thanks for watching. Thanks for
mobilize,
commenting.
and to stay
If you like what the
engaged
video, guys, and you want me to do more
for
stuff like that,
the
give my
sake of
commentary.
freedom
Feel free
and
to subscribe,
justice,
like, and
and
share. I
the future
appreciate it.
that we all know we can build together. Look, many of you know I started out as a prosecutor, and throughout my career, I saw people at some of the worst.
That's another reason why she lost. She need to let go of the prosecutor foolishness. She should let go of that. I don't think it's a strong point of her. She keeps saying how she was a prosecutor. Most of the time when she says anything pertaining to being a prosecutor, the first thing that comes to people's mind is, you threw a lot of black men in prison. That's what a lot of men know. They don't know anything else she's done. So when she makes speeches like this, oh, I was from a poor community, a middle-class family. No, stop saying stuff like that. Stop talking about your fundamental rights and you were a prosecutor in California. But California is crap. People in California is either rich or dirt poor or homeless. California is nothing to be proud of. You know, the gun laws in California are terrible. You can't even walk outside of your car and leave it on for 2 minutes. Before they jump on you about the air pollution out there. California is beautiful, but they've ruined California with many of the stupid laws that she's helped to make. Don't keep saying that, oh, when I was a prosecutor, I was one of the first prosecutors to enact that all transgender can get their gender affirming. Get the hell out of here. People don't want to hear that. Every time she mentions prosecutor, she loses votes because it's nothing good. And she doesn't have people in her corner like I'm speaking to her. Stop saying that, Madam President. You need to stop saying that. You're alienating people, the hundreds of thousands of families that you've affected in the past, that have friends that know people, that speak about you, that hate you. You need to stop saying when you were a prosecutor. It's nothing to write home about. Stop speaking about it. Just speak on what you want to do for the future. Inclusion for everybody, not just transgender, gays, and blah, 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 but for every American citizen. Don't just isolate for Democrats or Republicans. That's how you should have ran. You shouldn't run by just keep saying, you know what I mean? Oh, I was a prosecutor. Your prosecutorial history is trash. Stop talking about it. And that's how, I'm telling you how she lost this race.
Times in their lives. People who had suffered great harm and great pain, and yet found within themselves the strength and the courage and the resolve to take the stand.
It looked like a P. Diddy party.
Take a stand.
We gonna drain that swamp because she's out.
Fight
This is the last
for
time I'm
justice.
ever gonna do anything else on her
For
again.
themselves.
I'm giving her this
Fight for
because
others.
I want you guys to
let
see what
their
Trump's
courage be our
speech was. I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna hit the gym, come back. I'm gonna do that one. So watch out for that one,
Be
guys.
our charge.
This is the last time you guys gonna hear from this woman again. She ain't gonna run for no office and win nothing.
Called a law of history,
Now she wants to teach.
true of every society across the ages. The adage is, only when it is dark enough can you see the stars.
Here she is with one more of those joy speech again, and she's not good at it. You know what I mean? This is the thing. She keeps making these speeches. She doesn't have that gift of inspiring people. She thinks she does, but she does not. This is our advisor should say, hey, when you think you're gonna say one of those speeches, shut the hell up. Don't go no speech. Speak about the facts. Say hi to everybody. Don't laugh. Don't. And if you're gonna laugh, just smile. Don't use all your teeth either. Just use some of your teeth, and then don't make that smile where everybody can see every teeth in your mouth. Don't do that, and don't cackle. Don't put up your hand like you're talking to everybody. You know what I mean? Because you're not. You don't have that power. You're not a minister. You know what I mean? Keep your hand down on the podium and then just speak what we tell you to speak, and then get off the podium. You're only a little bit better than Biden. So that's what they should have really told her, and she would have gotten a lot more votes. Don't tell and don't include Barack in your campaign either. Let him stay in Martha's Vineyard. The blacks don't like him that much.
I know many people feel like we are entering a dark time. But for the benefit of us all, I hope that is not the case. But here's the thing, America, if it is, let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars. The light.
I'm itching to just close her out,
light
man,
of
but I'm just
optimism,
kind of like, I'm giving her this. This is her last hoorah, so
of
I'm just giving her this.
And service.
I don't know what fight she's talking about. She's done. After today, she's done. We don't ever have to hear her. That's the smile I'm talking about right there. That's the cackle right there.
And may that work guide us even in the face of setbacks.
The reason why that smile is so fake, anytime she does that smile, look how quickly her face falls back to normal. When somebody smiles and it's a authentic smile, you don't smile and then go back to your normal face. You smile and your face gradually goes back. Every time she makes that smile, it goes right back to, I'm gonna prove it to you. Watch. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it.
Ain't you?
Watch the cackle.
And may that
And
work
right back to just
guide
being
us
fake. Look at her facial
even
expression
in the
again.
face of
That wasn't
setbacks,
genuine.
Toward the extraordinary promise of the United States.
It's not that much better than Biden, though. I can tell you that.
Oh, may God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. I thank you all.
Bye. Guys, now that's the speech she should have. If she had given that speech last night without the little nuances of hate in it and just said, Donald Trump, this was nothing personal. This was just, a race that we had to fight. And I can see to Donald Trump because on this occasion, he was the better person. The United States, the American people chose him, and I respect that. And if I can ever do anything to aid in making this country a better place, I most definitely will. That's how you finish a speech. That's what a college educated person would say. That's what a good attorney for a whole state of California would have came out and say. It would have burned her inside to say it, but then it would have sounded good. And then she should have walked off the stage. Now, what I'm going to do right now, I know it's getting a little long, guys. I'm going to give about 5 more minutes. Let's read through some of the comments, people. Let me go get my glasses because I'm not totally, you know, ocular, meaning I wear my glasses. All right, guys, so let's check out some of the comments and see what people are saying. Number 1, this is the first time I've looked forward to hearing Kamala speak because they want her to get the hell out of there. Next guy said, finally, we can turn the page and be unburdened by what has been done. Next guy said, I'm so glad we need to hear this kind of meaningless word salad anymore. We're done. And these are messages I'm reading straight from this. All right? A message from over half of Americans. You're fired. That got 101 likes. The other one, no more meaningless word salad, got over 5,000 likes. So even though you see one comment, it's liked by that many people. The next comment said, who else feels like a dark cloud has been lifted from over the United States? Praise God. Congratulations, President Trump. That got 3,000 likes. She came out. I expected to hear her start, I grew up in a middle-class family. We were sick of that. All right? Next comment says, keep fighting. Quick. Someone indict this woman for inciting a riot. You see? She did the same thing she's telling Donald Trump he did. She's low-key doing it. That got 2.8 thousand likes. Never seen from or heard again. That's literally what we want from her. Bye. She sure showed disrespect for her fellow followers by not speaking last night. They stood in the cold for her. That's who she was. Donald Trump got shot in the ears and still wanted to stay. You know what I mean? And that's how fake she seemed. Thank you, America. You saved the world, brought back hope for a better, safe, prosperous, healthy, secure, stronger America. These are comments I'm reading, and I've not read one single comment that said, oh, we missed her. Next comment says, what does she mean it's not what we voted for? Trump won the popular vote. It's exactly what we voted for. Exactly. Next comment says, I'm here being nosy after Trump win, listening to last annoying lying words. Next one says, it turned out $1 billion can't buy you the presidency. 807 likes. Next person says, you don't have to admit defeat, girl. You got fired by 75 million patriots. Now get out of here. Next one says, she's talking to her party, not the American people. All right, next guy says $2.2 billion wasted. $1 billion from her campaign and $1.2 billion from the PAC. They have money, guys. So she ain't gonna hurt. She ain't never gonna have to live like any of us again. She's getting a lot of that money. Next comment says she's probably relieved she lost. She knows she ain't built for this, which is true. I know she's not built for it. She was saying how Trump was tired doing his all the different rallies and stuff. The man was doing 2 times, 3 times as much rallies as she was, and still doing talk shows. You know what I mean? She was going on these stupid little talk shows, being late for 30-minute talk. He's on Joe Rogan for 3.5 hours. You know what I mean? I haven't seen this. I haven't been this happy since Hillary Clinton lost. Forever. She gonna be a footnote in history now. How scary to think this woman nearly in charge. True. Next one says, Kamala, you're fired. Next one says, we're finally unburdened. I'm just going to read a couple more of them out. Next one says, we're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. Never heard her once say we are united behind Trump's presidency and America moving. Her speech reminds me why I voted for Trump. Our country has been saved from the laughing hyena. She forgot to mention that she was raised in the middle class. The rest in the same speech as always. Who knows why it took her team to type it. So guys, that's pretty much all of it for this live. I'm gonna try to do way more lives. I appreciate you guys tapping in. Thank you guys for watching with me, man. She is a clown, my friend. If any of you guys have not seen this content, you guys can play it from the beginning. It was a lot of fun hosting it. It was a lot of fun having you guys coming in and join the live. I appreciate it. Later on tonight, in about maybe an hour or two, I'm gonna do Trump. I just came home and I was trying to watch both of them, so I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna go live again and watch Trump his speech, and then we can enjoy that together too. And I'll give my comments on that. It says you just. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate you guys. I'm gonna try to do a lot more lives. I think I'm built for this. So I'm gonna start a live again later on when I'm doing Trump's speech, and then we can just have some fun with that. So if you guys want to tune in again, I'm about to hit the gym, get my workout on. I just got accepted to a nursing school, so anybody want to give me big ups, I appreciate it. I've been working hard. I've been working my job and then going to school pretty much full time, trying to complete this nursing program. And then I have one more. I just have a year to go, so I'm gonna go full time next year. So I just want to give a big shout out to the state of Florida that helped Donald Trump win the election. Everybody that went out and vote, more power to all of you guys. Really love that. For all the people that are watching that are Democrats, we don't take anything from you. You guys fought a good fight. We really appreciate you guys. We're all one people. We're not here to be divisive. This should be the last time we have any kind of divisiveness between us. Now it should just be one country moving forward in unison, in harmony, in prosperity, and just watch our country grow and stop building other people's. We should still help other countries, but we should put our country first and then take care of other people. Just like how we want Europe to start paying for their security, because a lot of Europeans, they'll tell you how great their country is, how well they eat. But yeah, because you don't spend billions of dollars on your own security. The United States pay for it. And then we eat ramen noodles while you eat like kings and queens over there. So it's time for them to start paying their share. It's time for people to live healthier lives. It's time for people to be proud of America again. It's time for, people to be vetted properly before they enter the country. I'm immigrant myself, and I did it the right way. I paid for all my forms. It cost me thousands of dollars to get my citizenship. And I went to school here. I didn't brain drain. I came back and I gave back to this community. I'm still giving back to my community. And that's all we want, man. Everybody to pay their way, get what's due to them. And if it's not due to you, pay your way until it's due to you. It's just what it is. So guys, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Mr. Black Mamba 305 signing out, guys. I love you guys. Much obliged.